Hey guys, this is Triggerfish. I'm just doing a Mzez kind of review. I know a lot of people on stream were in awe about how his Ana play is, and the sleep darts that he's hitting, the anti-nades that he's hitting, and I wanted to show you just kind of how simple his play style is, and it's actually not that hard to replicate. So you guys should be able to take what you see here and use it into your games. So a couple things you're gonna see during this is high percentage shots and sort of YOLO shots. So high percentage sleep darts, firing it into a big group of people. Um, you're firing into a lot of bodies. Chances are you're gonna hit one through a barrier or not. And same with kind of your nades. Nades are more like, do you want to use them for healing or do you want to use them offensively? Ideally, you want to have like the perfect anti-nade will hit both targets, and we'll see a little bit of that as well. So let's just kind of get into it. So I'm starting us off on the second round because first round he wasn't even alive. We got rolled. So we used the teleporter strat. He dropped outside, which actually almost threw the game. He used his cooldown for the nade right away. And that sleep that we saw, that was a high percentage sleep dart, right? So there was a lot of bodies. It looked like they were coming through. He just threw it out. So he uses his nade for himself. There's a lot of bodies. Throw it out. He hit Titus. It stopped, or it made them hesitate a little bit. Nice. He sees that shield is getting cracked. Bubble's gone. Oh, there's a lot of bodies. Throw out the nade. Right? That stops their push. That stops them from recontesting. So now the anti-nades worn off. They're coming back. He sees a lot of bodies. Just spam, spam, spam. He sees a chance, someone's not behind his shields. Throw out the sleep dart. Misses. Whatever. Right? Sees people are getting critical. He scopes in. Again, just a high percentage sleep dart. He saw people coming through that choke. He threw it out. Didn't get anybody. Doesn't matter. Threw his nade to heal up the rest of his team. Right? As a support, your main job is to keep your teammates alive. Your secondary role is to create plays. So now they have the pharmacy, and that's a YOLO sleep, right? He saw the pharmacy, threw sleep dart. Didn't connect. Whatever. Right? He sees the pharmacy out there. He saw the Mercy. He saw the Pharah. And YOLO. He just threw it out. Right? And then this ended up becoming play of the game. Right? Because he got that environmental kill. But you can see that, like, when you just take this snapshot, it looks like he meant it, right? But you don't see how many he's actually missing. Like, you see the one that he hit. And that's what kind of makes it impressive. But he's got his fair share of misses, right? Because he's kind of, he knows his chances. Firing it into a massive bodies, which is, a bit more high percentage. Or, taking those sleep darts that, like, if it hits, it hits. And, that'll be a big play. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Here, you can see him play really well with, like, natural cover, but at the same time, you can see that, like, he misses a ton of shots. And how he tries to fix it is by getting closer to the target. Because the closer to the target you are, the bigger they are, the more chance you're gonna hit them, right? So Underbite is critical. You know, he ran right up to him because, you know, people were getting in his way, and he's Lucio's at critical. Lucio's at critical. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot. Still hasn't hit. Far is there. You know, he's running towards his targets. He's not hitting them, but he's running towards the targets to increase the chance of it hitting. Right? So that's really well played. You know, he throws anti-nades at big bodies. He throws sleep darts at, you know, mass bodies of people. If he sees anyone kind of stepping away from a shield or something, he'll throw out a sleep dart. And sometimes he hits, sometimes he doesn't. This is the advantage of having a Lucio on your team, is you get to the point faster. So we teleport, they teleport, but we're already on the point. And he sees a big group of bodies, throws at a anti-nade. It hits a lot, we take this fight. Right? And then this is a perfect anti-nade. So it hit both myself and the enemy. So that's kind of your perfect. That's your perfect nade. He took the high percentage one. It paid off, and then he got close and he got both his ally and his enemy in the same nade. So now that there's a Pharah on the field, what is your thoughts as an Ana player? What you should be thinking is natural cover, all the way. There's no way you're gonna take him on. We have a Symmetra and a Reaper. Basically, this Pharah is uncontested. So the biggest thing for us is natural cover. So you can see his main objective as a support is keep your team healthy, right? And then make plays. And it's stuff like that. Like you don't see these sleep darts on stream, or no one points this out, right? He sees a big group of bodies, he throws out a sleep dart. Shield was there, it got blocked. If that shield wasn't there, if the Reinhardt flashed the shield and that went through, it's a big play, right? Saw a big group of people, threw out his anti-nade. All the meanwhile, he's very conscious of where this Pharah is. So he knows the Pharah's over there. So he knows everybody's coming from that direction. Now he sees the rockets coming from the side, and he sees that the Pharah's now behind. So what does he do? He's not trying to take on the Pharah at all, because there's nothing you could do. Like, turning to look at the Pharah is going to do you no good. It's a pocketed Pharah. You're not going to kill the Mercy or the Pharah. So he keeps his eye on his team, because his primary job is to keep us alive, and then he moves to natural cover, right? He just moves to natural cover as fast as he can. So now we're playing on this side of the point when the Pharah is out in the open. So Pharah rotates around this way, we rotate on the other side of point. And this was the call during the game. Like we were very conscious of where the Pharah was. So he knows exactly where the Pharah is, and he's using natural cover beautifully. Once everyone is topped up, everyone's healthy on the team, then you can take those aggressive shots, right? But now he's taking a couple hits of splash damage. He's not totally healthy. He comes in, plays it safe. There's nothing you can do about that, right? He was like, this was good positioning from him. Captain Jardy just got a lucky pick on Hanzo, right? Captain Jardy was taking high percentage shots, just kind of firing them, see what he can get, and he got Mzez. This is just unlucky. And then this. Always, I do the same thing as Orisa. You know, I will just throw out my... I'll throw my shield, you know, to point as soon as I come out of the spawn doors. Do it with Ana as well. You know, the cooldown's fairly short. By the time you get to your team, it'll be back up again. It didn't make it through the window, but if you play the character well, like often enough, you'll start to figure out the trajectory of those nades, and you'll start getting it through the window a bit more. He took a shot, didn't go through, but there was no harm done. This, he sees a couple people, throws out a sleep dart, and it hits somebody, right? That's a great sleep dart. It kind of stopped their progress a little bit, and it didn't hurt to throw it out. Like there's no point in not using it, right? Like the Moira wasn't even on his screen when he tossed it out. There was no way he was actually going for that. He was just going for a high percentage shot.
You're going to be okay.
So yeah, the Pharah was outside looking at him. He comes directly inside. Yeah. And then they take the point, and that's that. But that was nothing to do with Mzez. He played this quite perfectly, actually. He's avoiding the line of sight from the Pharah. He's, throwing out these like yellow sleep darts and also high percentage sleep darts. Sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. But there's no harm in throwing them out. Now let's take a look at King's Row real quick.
Now entering ready for battle.
Let's go to the defense. So again, he's just like his positioning inside of natural cover is very good. There's very little threats he can take. He saw a chance to hit both his teammates and the enemy with a anti-nade, and he took it. Right. Again, that's sleep dart. Like he took a little bit of splash damage. People typically try to follow up on that, so he knows that if he throws a sleep dart there, he might get something. Right? Threw it out, didn't get anything, whatever. He saw a couple people, threw out an anti-nade. Great. It wasn't directed at anybody, he saw multiple targets and went for it. He hit it, it paid off.
Take your medicine.
And this is just pre-firing. He's pre-firing on his teammates for any kind of spam damage that comes through where we're healthy, and this will get you nano fast. So the Hanzo took a shot. So yeah, let's take a look at this. So right now we don't really know what's going on, right? No one has line of sight on him. He feels safe to be here. This is totally fine. And then as soon as the Hanzo on the other team takes this shot, boom, there's an arrow. He moves out of line of sight because he knows that one lucky arrow can cost him his life. It's a pick, right? So out of line of sight, and that's about that. So yeah, let's take another look at this fight. I'm not gonna say anything, but just look at what his reactions are, and try to think why he used Nano, why he threw out a sleep dart, and why he used his nade. He used all three of his cooldowns. Think about why he did them. Alright, so that was the fight. He used Nano, Sleep Dart, and Anti-Nade. Or Nade. Let's kind of go through the reasonings behind this play. So, as soon as the enemy starts engaging, he hears the battlefield come out, he hears dragons, and he throws out the the nano boost right here. So Falcon is kind of he's in danger right now. So this is a survivability nano boost. This isn't so because he thinks Falcon on the Reinhardt can get kills or anything. He knows that he's in front of the window. There's a dragon strike that's going to be cutting him off from the team. So he gives him the nano boost, and then immediately after he throws in the sleep dart. And he throws the sleep dart in this direction because this is where the aggression is most likely coming from. Right? So from what we can see from Mzez's perspective is you just nano boost your Reinhardt, he got separated from the team by dragons, and he got shattered. So it's a good chance that the enemy's going to be trying to push on that. So that's why he throws his sleep dart in that direction. He can't see anything. You've seen it from his perspective. He doesn't know what's there or what's coming, but he suspects the team to be coming from that direction. So that's the reason behind this sleep dart, where it's just a sleep dart that makes sense. It's like, oh, the enemy team should be coming from here. I'm gonna throw it out, see what I get. And then the nade was to heal rather than to anti. It got both of them, but the main purpose behind it was to keep his Reinhardt alive. Yeah. And this is another sort of okay. So let's call that last sleep dart a game sense sleep dart, where Reinhardt got shattered, window was up, dragons was up. His game sense told him that the enemy team was going to be coming from that direction, and he threw it out. This is also another game sense sleep dart. So Hanzo has been sitting up here on this high ground for a while now. And much like most kind of hit scans, and kind of putting Hanzo into this, is that they aim down sights quite a bit. And when you're aiming down sight, you move slow. And hit scans like Widows, Ashes, Hanzos, like any kind of sniper, they tend to be in the same spot until they're pushed out of it, or pressured out of it. So he knows that by taking the sleep dart, there's a chance that he hits the Hanzo. He's seen the arrows up there, and he thinks, hey, like if I sleep this Hanzo, that's a good thing, right? So He just throws it out. Hanzo dies by the time it gets there, but that was kind of like a game sense sleep dart. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. It's just, I like his positioning of how he backs up into the choke to kind of negate himself from any kind of damage. High Noon came out, he just threw a sleep dart that way, right? You might as well. And you'll actually see him do it
لسه في ناس لازم احميها.
later on, and it'll pay off.
Objective lost.
Actually, it's on attack that happens. I don't know why I skipped the attack phase. Yeah. So he's trying to keep his team healthy. There's no point in trying to chase that. He sees the Ashe get low, or the Ashe has the critical sign on him, but he knows that he's running towards the mega health back, so it's not worth him leaving the rest of the team to go heal the Ashe. Like, at that point, it's on the Ashe to stay safe. So he turns his attention back here. High Noon comes out, and he just throws a sleep dart. He hit it, right? But this is a YOLO dart. Like, this was thrown out. Like, it was good. Like, the fact that he was able to put his crosshair on, like, 5-7 and push the sleep button is great. But this was a YOLO dart where the chances of hitting it were very slim. Let's slow this down a little bit. So they're playing double shield. Like, Ana shouldn't really work, but at this moment, both shields are down. He just throws it out, and he hits. So it was poor timing on the blue team's side to use High Noon when both Arresa Barrier and Sigma Barrier are down. But he just threw it out because you might as well, right? You saw him do it on the defensive side. As soon as High Noon comes out, just throw a sleep dart.
Get back in the fight. I have your back.
Yeah. So going back to the defense.
Go.
There's just more content. I've looked through it. There's more content to show on the defensive side. Again, throws out a sleep dart. You guys, I keep saying this because, like, he just threw out a sleep dart, because from what I saw on Twitch chat was everyone was freaking out when he slept that Mercy off the edge, right? And he got play of the game for it. But now we've seen him take like 10 sleep darts and they've all missed. But he hit that one on the Mercy and it got play of the game, right? So it's not this like godly uh, Ana play that's getting him. He's taking his chances when he sees fit, and sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it gets you play of the game, sometimes no one notices. So Shatter comes in. That's a really good sleep dart to save his Reinhardt. Right, so we're all here. Everything's good, everything's healthy.
Go. I'll keep you
And then you can see as soon as Falcon's Reinhardt hits the Shatter, everyone starts going. And Mzez sort of leads the charge because he wants to get that, like everyone's on the ground, he wants to get that anti-nade. So he sees everybody on the ground, and he throws it out. He was reloading at the time, so he didn't cancel his reload to throw it. Which is something I'm guilty for. You'll see that he doesn't cancel his reload, whereas I kind of do. Especially like on anybody, like on Orisa, I do it all the time. Where Orisa's got the longest reload in the game, and sometimes I'll be in the middle of reloading, and then I'll throw it a halt, and then I'll have to reload all over again. Mzez doesn't really do that. He's very patient and kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like conditioned properly to not do that. Sorry for the lack of words, but yeah. So that's enough from King's Row. One more I'm going to show you is Watchpoint Gibraltar, because this we are playing, or this kind of shows you how to play Ana when the enemy team is running dive.
Don't mess with me. Enemy contact. Deine Hexe ist da.
Dead. Okay, let's take a little bit closer into that. So he saw
Don't mess.
two tanks. He sees both tanks coming down low, and he just throws out a sleep dart, and he actually hit Kubrick on it, or the wrecking ball on it. But he saw two tanks and threw it out because he knew that that's what was going to kill him, and it did. But we get the res. He sees a group of people, throws it out, but it hits a bubble. You know, it happens.
I've come back from worse. I will keep you healed.
So there's two ways of handling this. When you're playing Ana, and a monkey dives you, this will happen all the time. If you play Ana enough, you're gonna get dove by monkey. You're gonna get dove by a lot of things, or dived on by a lot of things. And knowing how to play them is what separates the good from the bad. So right here, okay. So let me tell you the two ways. The two ways are to go aggressive and take the fight, or play defensive and get away. So he's here, and then a monkey jumps on him. Immediately, he backs away from the bubble and throws a nade down to heal himself. So now he's survived the initial attack, and he throws the nade down to make himself healthy again. And he called for help in the back. So Winston, the blue team's Winston, and the Ashe are here to help protect. So the other way of playing that would have been to go inside of the bubble, throw the nade down, which would heal yourself, and also anti-nade the monkey. This is okay to do when you have protection, like someone to peel for you, like right away, or whether you're standing right next to a hog, or two of your DPS, or your team is around to help you win this fight, or you win a Zen, like a Zenyatta with a Discord orb, take this fight. A Zenyatta and an Ana can win against a Winston solo. So, but Mzez here chose to back away from the bubble, throw the nade down, and create the distance. Because if the monkey was to come outside of the bubble, he would die. So separate yourself away from the bubble and survive. Again, that was just another one of those sleep darts that paid off. It was a great sleep dart. He saw the threat, so right now he's just healing. He sees the threat and he just throws it out. And then that was just great. That was also really good timing on hitting the nade on the D.Va, so it'll splash down onto the Pharah. That was really well done as well.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Yeah. So, a couple things here. He's healing Triggerfish, like the blue Winston. And he's not really hitting shots. It says critical. He's got the anti-nade, or the nano boost ready to go. He can see that my health is getting low, and he decides to invest it on me. At this point, he doesn't. His anti-nade is on cooldown, so he actually can't survive this dive. It was a well-coordinated dive. It was both Winston and Ball, so it was a well-coordinated dive. There's not too much you can do from it. Having the nade up would help, but there's no guarantee that that would have made him survive. I actually think that he missed an opportunity here.
Just a scratch, you'll be fine.
So his sleep dart is actually on cooldown, and Ball kind of comes in like that. He gets the anti-nade, but I think he could have thrown out the sleep dart. He died with a cooldown up, which means that there was more that he could have done. Because maybe he lands that sleep dart, the Ball takes more damage, and they don't both come in and execute that dive on him. So. And then we just saw this. He gets barraged as soon as he walks through the door.
I'll rest when done. I will keep you here.
My mouse. So he sees the monkey coming, throws out a sleep dart. That's great. That's great play. That's quick reactions. Like that's the best sleep dart that we've seen so far. Because that one was the only one that had a specific target, like a specific goal, and he executed it. Almost every sleep dart that we've seen so far from him have been either high percentage sleep darts firing into a mass group of people, firing in the general direction of an ult to shut it down, or just straight up YOLO, hey, if this hits, sweet, if it doesn't, whatever. That was the only sleep dart that we've seen so far that he saw the monkey diving him, and he reactionary pushed shift and slept the monkey to stop the dive on him. That was the best sleep dart that we've seen so far.
Lights out.
That right there.
It's going to hurt.
And then he antis him. So it's kind of like confirming the kill.
Down.
60 seconds remaining.
And let's take a look at his movement here as well. So he gets hacked, but it doesn't matter. Both his cooldowns, both his cooldowns are on cooldown at the moment. And he immediately backs up. Slow this down. So he immediately backs up into the spawn doors. So right here, like he just kind of backs up. No one can see him anymore. He's not getting focused, and that allows him the mercy to heal him. As soon as he starts taking shots from the ball, he knows that he has to heal his team. The mercy is healing him. That means nobody else is healing the team. So instead of backing up again, he goes into the Winston bubble. So he makes the call to step forward and kind of help heal the rest of the team. So he backs up because he's low on health, but he has to heal his team. Otherwise, there's no point in living. Mercy came close to him. That was to damage 100%, right?
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
And also something worth mentioning, Ana's rate of fire is the same whether you're... Okay, he did it again. Ana's rate of fire is the same whether you're hard scoping or you're hip firing. The only time it changes is when you quick scope. Quick scope will... I think get the first shot off faster, but if you keep doing it, it'll be longer in between shots because you have to wait for the animation of your scope to go fully down before you can bring it back up again. Otherwise, if you do it too early, then you won't be able to get that shot off in time, and you'll actually delay yourself. So you want to commit to either hard scoping or hip firing. You don't want to be switching in between the two as often as you can. Don't be switching in between the two if you can avoid it. There, that's better wording. Yeah, we can take another look at this sleep dart.
30
You're
seconds.
going to be okay.
So Monkey sees him, and that's probably better than the one that we saw before. So that's the best one. And he follows up all his sleep darts with anti-nades,
I have your back.
which is great. Confirms the kills, right? Oh, no.
Overtime.
Helden sterben nicht. Heroes never die.
That.
Again, that's just that sleep dart right there was just like, see what you can get. Like, if he connects with that sleep dart,
Heroes never die.
right here.
The checkpoint.
So he just kind of throws out this sleep dart because it's towards the point he thinks, hey, like, they have to be on payload. There's going to be somebody there. Let's throw it out. Didn't hit anybody. If it did hit if it did hit somebody, then cool. You know, they can't pressure us as much. They can't like force their advantage. They have to play a little bit safe because they're technically down one person for a couple seconds. But there was no harm in throwing that sleep dart out, so we did it.
You're powered up. Get in there.
And he used his nano defensively. So let's bring this back down to regular speed.
You're powered up. Get in
Yeah, so we saw Monkey's critical throw in the anti-nade because the last thing you want is one of your tanks to stagger, like, again, right? So throws out the anti-nade, Monkey stays alive, and they kind of stop the snowball, right? Primeling Winston is actually easier to sleep dart than you think, because he's huge, and he's usually going to be coming right into your face. So okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but Winston was going after Ana the whole time, right? But did Mzez look at the Winston or try and take him on at any point? Other than the sleep dart, no, he didn't, because there's no winning that fight. Like, the rest of your team is focused on the fight ahead, so he kind of puts his resources that way as well. So Monkey's sleeping. He did note everybody, but right here, he's just focused on making sure we survive as much as possible. Right? Sometimes you're like, he just knew at that point he was gonna die. There wasn't anything that was gonna save him. Like, there was gonna be no peel from the rest of his team to help him survive that. So he just tried to do as much as he could while he was alive. So he did. He got a good nade off on both his D.Va and anti-nading the Reaper. That was big, right? He gets rezzed. He's back in it. Saw the soldier. Threw out a sleep dart. If he gets him, that's a pick. And threw out a. This was a game sense anti-nade as well, right? So he knows that they're hiding behind that box. So he threw it there. And he actually hit two. He hit a low health soldier and a half health Winston. Those are both really juicy targets to be hitting with the anti-nade. But you saw that he didn't see either of them, right? He just knew that, hey, the enemy's back there. Let's toss it out, see what I get. So he went fishing for it. And then that was just good reactions as well, right?
You're going to be okay.
Yeah. And I mean, there's certain signs you can really tell when something's about to happen. So tanks are responsible for this a lot. You know, you can tell when a Zarya has grav or when a Reinhardt has shatter because of how they're positioning, right? If Reinhardt all of a sudden goes from being in front of his team to trying to take like an off angle, and you can see that he's like lining up everybody on your team, it means that he has Shatter, right? Because he's trying to get that big juicy Shatter off. If Zarya all of a sudden walks in front of Reinhardt's shield, it's probably because she's getting into a position where she wants to use Graph. If you see Reaper just walking towards your backline, it's probably because he has Death Blossom. So Mzez sees the Reaper coming around the corner and throws it down. Or, yeah, goes into the sleep dart.
You're going to be okay.
We've seen a lot. I just want to take a kind of show his stuff on or like his positioning more than anything. So we've seen that he can hit sleep darts and whatnot. So oh my god, fumbling.
Name.
Yeah, so right here. He throws a nade up into that room because that's where his team is. That's as much as he can help out up there. Hog's down here. He lands the sleep dart. Now he's informed the rest of the team that there's a sleeping hog down here. We're kind of occupied up here, so it doesn't mean much to us. But look how Mzez, like, he can't contest the cart because one, there's a Reinhardt there, and two, that hog's gonna wake up soon, right? And if Mzez is anywhere out in the open here, he's gonna get hooked. So he went for cover, he checked the hallway to see if the hog's still there. So there's just one sleep dart he hits, and I'm gonna call it just a timing sleep dart where you just actually no, this is really good positioning right here. So we're playing mobile characters. So sorry, GameHive, the blue team, is playing Pharah, Winston, Diva, Reaper, Dive, right, with a Mercy. Ana's the only stationary target, so the whole team is up on the high ground trying to win the fight, and it's kind of up to the Ana to push the cart. So, you know, using the cart as like natural cover, you can see him here. He's looking up, like he's trying to see, you know, any threats that are available, and then as soon as the cart gets to the corner here, he's pushed it far enough where the fight is now the main goal, right? Like if we win this team fight, then we get the rest of that cart for free. And you know, like if Yarn's coming up here, he's gonna push the cart a little bit. It's no longer his fault. He knows that he doesn't have to be on the cart to push it at this moment. It's more important to win the team fight. So he backs off into server room where he's got a clear view of everything. This is a sniper's dream, what we're looking at right here, right? You can see everything, and there's not much in the way of flanking from the enemy. And there we see it, like, you know, these are these high percentage sleep darts and anti-nades. That's a big group of people. He just throws in a sleep dart and he throws in an anti-nade. He had no, you could tell there was no specific target in mind. He just threw it in. that was a good sleep dart. He got close to him. That's one of the sleep darts that's, you know, not hard to miss. Right. I'm not taking anything away, but he hit a sleep dart. It wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular. It's something that you can easily do.
I will keep you healed.
And then there, that's the timing sleep dart that I wanted to mention. Was he just had the timing down on the Reaper, right? As soon as he comes out of Wraith form, the sleep dart's there to hit him. And again, this is just a high percentage sleep dart. He saw a bunch of bodies.
The pain is coming.
The payload's right here. Once it gets anywhere close, the only thing that matters is winning the team fight. Because if you win the team fight, then the payload is free, right? You just win the game. They can't contest it because they're dead. So he knows this. He's pushed it up until here. Now at this point, he's thinking, all right, let's win this team fight. So he leaves the cart, he sees a whole bunch of people, and he throws out an anti-nade. He hits a couple. There's an immortality field up anyways. You know, he himself did a really good job. He slept the Reaper, and he got a big anti-nade in.
I have your back. That's much better.
The rest of the team didn't quite execute, so that was not his fault, or not your fault as an Ana player. Like, you did as much as you could.
You're powered up.
And this is, remember before when he knew he was dead and he just ran towards his team to get as much healing done or contribute as much to the fight as possible? That's what he just did right here. So this is bad positioning as an Ana. Like, your team's kind of going in and you walk through the doors. Like, especially like he went through these doors where there's zero natural cover. Like, it would have been much better to have gone through those doors, because then you have this natural cover to play with. He went through here and he got hooked for it, right? So he got hooked for it. Luckily, he didn't get one shot, and he was able to get the nade off in time. So he healed himself and he anti-naded the hog. So he throws the sleep dart out because that's the best thing he can do. But at that moment, as soon as both the Reinhardt and the hog were focused on him, he knew he was dead. So immediately he looked to use his nano, because the rest of the team is doing well at this moment. You don't want to die with nano. So he actually farms it off of the hog, and then he's looking. He has 30 health, looks at the first target. It just so happened to be a Winston. That's a really good target, but I'm sure it would have gone to anybody, right? Ideally, it actually goes onto the Reaper because he just got a quadra kill. But he knew he was dead, and he used his nano.
Thank you, Angela.
But that's because the comms were going well.
Victory.
We, like, as a team, I'm kind of giving you an insight of what the comms were like. We had the dive done correctly. We got the Reaper in position. We got the Monkey in position. The comms were going well. We knew we could win this fight. So that's why he threw out the nano. Because if he threw out the nano and we still lost, then you're kind of throwing, right? So that it is a risky play, but it just so happened to be the right play. Yeah, so that's taking a look into Mzez. I know this is a really long one, but we went over a few maps. A couple things to take away is just the high percentage shots. So whether you're you're throwing a nade or a sleep dart into like a mass amount of people, hoping that the Reinhardt flashes his shield at that time, or you know the barriers break, there's no bubbles, and it lands. Uh, Seeing someone a little bit out of position and saying, "Hey, like let's go for that sleep dart," or whether it's like YOLO, like the play of the game where he got the sleep dart on the Mercy, right? He should never have hit that sleep dart. He should never even gone for the sleep dart, but he just did it, right? And it hit, and it paid off. So these are all the things that Mzez does, and you see that he misses most of his shots. He misses most of his sleep darts. He gets most of his nades because that's a very valuable thing. But in terms of like, oh my god, like I don't think I can hit these kind of sleep darts sort of thing, you see how many he misses. Don't be discouraged if you miss a couple sleep darts. Just keep throwing them out, right? Don't use it on cooldown. Obviously, if there's a monkey that's about to dive you, save it for it. If there's something that you can interrupt, save your sleep dart for that specific cooldown. But if there's no immediate threat, yeah, throw out your utility, like your cooldowns. They're low, cheap cooldowns. Throw them out, use them, and yeah, hopefully that helps you. Eventually, the more you use it, the better you'll get, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna cut it here. Thanks for watching.